It's gonna be sweet. Welcome back to Rewind with B. Schwitty, because that's the way the cookie crumbles. Today, we are going to do something fun for Wind Down Wednesday. It is National Toasted Marshmallow Day. So the only thing I could think of was s'mores. Yeah, s'mores. Which I have right here. I'm so excited. I actually looked up an article from Mercury News that had 7 different pairings for wine and s'mores. They called it an adult wine pairing. And also, well, I'll show you in a second what I have. But the 7 perfect pairings for s'mores included botrycized wines, which are sweet dessert wines that are made sweet due to a noble rot. We'll talk about more of those in the far future when I talk about ports and dessert wines on a Monday episode. Fruit wine, which sounds gross to me, but I've never actually tried. Well, no, I've had pineapple fruit wine, which is interesting. Wouldn't call it whatever. Ice wine, that's good. It's grapes that have been left on during the frost, and usually it's Riesling or Vidal, and they kind of have like a sweetness to it. Infused dessert wines, late harvest wines, which are quite good, and tawny ports, which are from the Porto region, as well as sweet sparkling wine. So what I got from that is you want a dessert wine of some sort. Something that has a sweetness that will play off of it. I chose this Roxo Negrette from 2009 vintage. This is a port. They only do ports at this place, so it's gonna be sweet. But the s'more I made was a caramel. The chocolate I used was the Bourbon caramel squares from Ghirardelli. So I think that's going to add an extra flavor, an extra element that will pair really well with this port. I'm really excited. I haven't had a reason to open this up yet. Shout out to Roxo Port and Sam, if you're watching. So, ports we're going to focus on sometime in the future on one of our Wind Down Wednesdays. Technically, to be called a port these days, you have to be grandfathered in the US at least. They are dessert wines, usually fortified by brandy or some sort of fortification process that adds extra alcohol to a sweeter wine, which will allow for it to be kind of a sweet dessert style, high alcohol wine. This one's 17% by alcohol, or sorry, by volume. Oh, and I decided to use one of my Glencairn glasses, just because it's a port. It focuses, but it's not overwhelming. It's going to be my first time using that for port. Usually I use it for scotch. Oh, that smells lovely. Bon appetit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see how this does. Yeah, that plays well off of the chocolate because there's definitely heavier notes to it. But that sweetness plays off of the sweetness from the marshmallow, and the graham crackers meld nicely with the rest of the port, and then the bourbon infused caramel just added an extra layer that really helps to play off of a fuller red dessert wine like this. Wow. I would say that's successful. Since it's 2009, it's in the range of a tawny. A tawny is aged for 10 years, which is in that ballpark. This has a nice... Hasn't really given up its color yet, which is nice. Negrette is probably a varietal we won't focus on until way down the line, but it is a grape that is typically drunk young, so putting it in a port, an aged port, is really interesting. It's grown primarily in southwest France, usually as a blending grape. Usually requires 50 to 70% to be blended in with another partial Cab Franc, Cab Sauv, and other red varietals from the region. I'm going to be honest. This is just a reason for me to try out this new s'more recipe, but it is really good. Look at that. Look at that. Now, the bourbon chocolate caramel kind of gives off a banana characteristic when paired with this and the marshmallow and the graham cracker, which maybe means that maybe like they suggested, a sweet dessert white wine would have gone well with this. I guess I'll have to try that out in the future. I mean, while this isn't the optimal pairing, it's still doing really well. So, what have we learned here today? S'mores pair well with dessert wines. Highly recommend you try it. This isn't like the ice cream sandwiches. These rock. So, I'm going to go make myself another s'more. You let me know what you like to pair with s'mores, or if you've ever thought of pairing s'mores with wine. Down in the comments below, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm B. Schwitty saying catch you next time.